3.5 miles for Joao Barbosa, for Terry Borchella. That's right, the crew signaling one more lap for Mike Rockenfeller, for Ryan Dial. Dial's come so close. Rocky's been on the podium here. The other two boys, the more senior members in the team, they know what it's like. But Terry Borchella is the only one of the driving squad who has won this event overall.
And he hasn't seen victory lane in the Rolex series since that win back in 2004. So this is a big moment for Terry too.
Big as far as coming back with a full-time ride in 2010 as well, Dors.
This team slipped under the radar. This is huge for them. Can't say enough. Terry Borchella, you know, he had a tough time. We talked about it at the beginning of the show. He was dropped out of racing, just about lost his ability to get a ride. Now he's back strong.
Let's give a shout out to Joe LaJoy, the engineer, Mike Evans, who calls the strategy, and Gary Pennison, the crew chief of the Action Express 9 squad. And we heard from Bob Johnson, the new team owner. The story there is his son Keith had worked with the Brumos organisation for a long time, and as Calvin mentioned, there was a whisper, there was a rumour that they may have been paring back to just a one-car effort. He said, no way, we need to keep these people employed, we need to keep racing with 2 cars. It may no longer be under the Brumos banner, but underneath the skin it really is. And the Action Express team are just seconds, just moments away from victory in the biggest sports car race, kicking the year off here at Daytona International Speedway. On the high banks, the Portuguese driver is bringing it home. Joao Barbosa enters the tri-oval for the final time. This is exciting stuff. The Action Express team on debut go to victory lane at the Rolex 24. How about that? Borchella on there, along with Ryan Dial and Mike Rockenfeller. And a lot of that staff from the Brumos organisation experienced victory 2 years in a row. Sensational performance. And the final run, the final minute, the final lap in the 2011 Rolex 24 at Daytona.
Does Pruitt have a healthy car when he hits the brakes down here for turn 1? Does he have air that he needs? Tyre pressure in the race car? Yes, he does. Gets it turned in. Oh, look at this. Rundle runs wide. Pushing the effort there around the outside.
You ride with Scott Dixon. Where is Joao Barbosa? How close is he? There's the big number 9 into the International Horseshoe now. He's not close enough. He locks it up.
Angelelli's a lap down right in front of these guys. This is the battle for position, 2nd and 3rd, right on screen. Dixon versus Barbosa.
Barbosa got a little push right there. The good spot to do it's going to be up the next 2 corners right here.
Pruitt looks good. His car looks healthy. He's got speed. Dixon fighting the wheel, trying to get on the power. Can Barbosa look for the inside? Dixon defends.
After those 2 years of frustration, Ganassi is looking to relieve that pain by getting the 1-2, but the Portuguese driver's not done. Here comes Joao. Dixon comes down low and blocks that move.
Jumps on the power early, tries to get to the inside, but Dixon slingshots off the corner. He has a car length on him. As Barbosa will get the draft down the backstretch.
Here's race leader Scott Pruitt. He's comfortable, Dors.
Side by side. This is where it's going to be right now. Draw to the outside. He might try to tuck to the inside, not quite close enough.
He's going to drive Scott in there as hard as he possibly can.
Dixon protected to the inside. He's got a good run. He should be able to hold him.
Through up onto NASCAR 3. How about it? We call him the man, we call him the master. Scott Pruitt is going to drive this 01 Telmex Chip Ganassi BMW Riley to another victory. It's going to be 4 for the most prolific driving duo, and the man in Grand Am, Scott Pruitt, takes the win. It's a Ganassi 1-2. And for young Graham Rahal, he wins the Rolex 24 at Daytona 30 years after his famous father Bobby did. How about that? And for GT, TRG will do it again. Kevin Buckler's men in control. Andy Lally and his co-drivers drive to victory lane. Well done, Andy. Well done, TRG. And they do it in their new Porsche. Whole team. Oh, somebody missed the bus stop there, but no harm. Yeah. Does he stop? Does he stop? Yeah, he does. Not a problem there. For Oz Negri, it'll be the biggest accomplishment of his career. So too for the Pro-Am driver, John Pugh. And for Justin Wilson, let's not forget the big story. He broke his back in the IndyCar Series last year at Mid-Ohio. And this is the big man's first race back.
Flag is out. last lap. White flag
There is a bit of a smile from Mike Shank and Mary Beth, his wife. One more lap to go. 3.56 miles between Mike Shank and that elusive victory in the Rolex 24.
And in the last lap, you've had the Audi R8 spin out in front of it, and the Ferrari goes straight off in front of it. So you got to know your heart is right up there in your throat.
If you're in Ohio, more specifically if you're in Columbus, Ohio, or even more specifically if you're in Pataskala, Ohio, you should be cheering. Ring your friends, tell them to turn speed on, because you should be very proud of this little team.
Mike Shank has so many supporters. Brian Bailey has come on board the last couple of years, giving this team tremendous support. And they've got big plans, not only in this series, they're really working double hard to get that IndyCar program across the line. They have the chassis sitting in their shop. They're just waiting for the last few dollars to make that program come to life, potentially with Paul Tracy. They'd love to see it. They want to be at the Speedway. Mike Shank was a single-seater racer and a very good one, and then he turned his attention to car ownership and has been a brilliant car owner, and he has a great relationship with this man, A.J. Allmendinger.
It's a new generation for Daytona prototypes in Grand Am. This is Bob Riley's design for the company his son Bill runs, Riley Technologies. What a debut for the new chassis. Ford has not been to victory lane here in the Rolex 24 in 13 years. It has been a long, long wait for Mike Shank. It's his 7th consecutive Rolex 24 at Daytona.
My name in the side of your head, baby.
And AJ reminds Mike Shank he's got to shave his name in his head. It's an anniversary race. This has been a golden occasion. Mike Shank Racing finally does it. And AJ Allmendinger steers that Ford Riley to victory lane. How about that?
What a race, what a day.
Penske's new signing delivers the goods for Mike Shank. AJ Allmendinger, Justin Wilson, Oz Negri and John Pugh with the biggest wins of their respective careers.
Boy, did they deserve that. That team worked so hard. They've come so close, had so many Schumacher burst to prominence.
The white flag waves over Juan Pablo Montoya. 1 lap to go here at the Rolex 24, and everything is still up in the air.
What a performance, Dorsey.
Boy.
He has been on fire. The car has been on fire. Everyone has played their part. Memo Rojas, Scott Pruitt, going for another championship and another overall win. Charlie Kimball did a couple of stints during the course of the night, but Montoya has been the man. He's been on fire.
Long time since I've seen such a dominant car in a race from the beginning of a 24 all the way throughout. But that car is solid.
Battle for second. Here comes Rene Rast down the inside.
Easy.
Deep on the brakes. He's got fresher tires. Can he make it stick?
This will work because the next is a left-hander.
Yep, he's got the line now and the position.
Final lap of this race, though. He's only got about half a lap to try and catch Albuquerque for the win.
Audi, Audi, Audi in GT.
What a performance by those guys.
Boy, oh boy, I want to tell you.
GT has been fantastic race.
So it's looking like another set of Rolex watches for the boys from Ganassi. There they are, Pruitt and Rojas on the pit wall, Charlie Kimball behind them. The other boys have watches. They'll just add to their jewelry boxes, but for Charlie Kimball, who came to this race never having shared a race car before, never having driven with a roof over his head, and never having driven at night, as the 13 slows in the battle for GT.
Answers that question.
Out of fuel. Charlie Kimball will pick up his first watch as Juan Pablo Montoya brings Chip Ganassi Racing with Felix Sabatis and their BMW Riley to victory at the Rolex 24 again. 5-4-8. And there is your winner in GT, Felipe Albuquerque in the WeatherTech Audi from Alex Job Racing. High fives all around.
What a performance. Scott Pruitt ties the legendary Hurley Hayward. There's celebration donuts from Felipe. What a great day for that team. Audi are here. 1-2 for Audi. It looks like Wilkins jumped up into the 2.5 seconds behind, but in GTD,
White
it's
flag.
getting tight.
White flag is in the air. One more time around for João Barbosa and Action Express. Now take a look at what happened in GTD. There's Alessandro Perez-Ridi, gets it wrong in the chicane.
Too deep. Does Winkelhock easily get him, or does Pierre Guidi just not get up to speed? But he's coming back at him.
Oh, here comes the Ferrari on the Audi.
Winkelhock is injured. He's got a hurt car. Got to push him up.
Tries to get a look out.
Man.
Front suspension out askew on the Audi.
Last lap, what a fight back by the Italian in the Ferrari. Oh, but now he maybe overcooks it into one.
Oh, Winkelhock is just really fighting that race car, boys. It is hurt. He said the steering is askew, but he's given it 1,000,000% right now. Can he do anything on this infield section? Pierre Guidi defends the inside line.
Trying for the up and under there, Calvin, which of course is very difficult to do. And they are literally
There we go, through the king race. Here comes the king, high-speed left-hander.
Is the Audi going to survive the outside move?
No! He's off!
Did he get shoved off?
He didn't leave him any room, that's for sure.
And nor should he have done, Dawson.
No, he shouldn't have.
Absolutely, that was racing.
And I don't think they touched. I just think he did what he had to do.
It's a brave move, but it's going to be tough to pull off.
Meanwhile, through NASCAR 3 and 4 for the final time, it will be close. Not the closest ever, but still a tremendous run to the finish for the top two cars. And João Barbosa will take Action Express to victory lane in the Rolex 24 for the second time since 2010. Christian
Awesome
Fittipaldi leading the celebrations. Wow.
What a motor race. That was fantastic. Here we go. Ferrari, can they bring it home?
He's doing donuts in turn one, and the race isn't over for these guys.
That's right. Be careful. Oh, man, what a last couple of laps in the GT Daytona class. Alessandro Perguidi, what a joy for an Italian driver in a Ferrari, winning one of the world's classic battles. First victory in any class for Ferrari at Daytona since 1998. Congratulations to Level 5. Look how close it was.
GTLM battle comes to the line, and Porsche wins.
Fantastic, well done.
What a debut for the North American factory Porsche team in their very first race. And congratulations also to Core Autosport, who are fielding that car for my...
Check drive time.
White flag.
Hashtag drive time.
Yeah. The white flag
One more good
waves.
lap here, man. One more good one.
One more lap after 23 hours and 59 minutes. It's just one more lap.
Right, or to put it another way, 739 other laps.
Bourdais 3/10 quicker than Dixon on that last lap.
Huge celebrations down there, and once again, what an achievement for the entire team. I know Jamie Mack will be incredibly delighted. He'll join some elite company. We talked about that for Kyle Larson. This is going to be absolutely huge. And you see the Ganassi squad there.
I think Jamie Mack is emotional. Look at him on the left.
Yeah.
He needs those sunglasses because he started to moisten up a little bit, joining the likes of Mario Andretti and AJ Foyt as winners of the Daytona 500 and the Rolex 24 at Daytona. Kyle Larson, we talked about all that he's accomplished. Tony Kanaan.
I think TK might have a tear or two in his eye as well.
Yeah, maybe so.
Pretty special group of drivers that are gathered there. Chip Ganassi with his arms around his boys.
Amazing. Gap is staying about the same with the BMW and the Vet.
Final time through the chicane. Last year, Ford brought their EcoBoost turbocharged engine to this team, and Chip Ganassi Racing gave them not only their first, but their first 3 victories, including an historic return to victory lane at the 12 Hours of Sebring for Ford. And now, Scott Dixon and crew will bring Ford victory in the 24 Hours of Daytona for Ganassi Racing with Felix Sabates. How about the Corvette crew?
Man, awesome job. Awesome.
Awesome indeed. Antonio Garcia brings the number 3 home. Another overall, or another class victory for Corvette. There's our GTD class leader. Viper in the hands of Dominic Farnbacher. What a story for this team over the last 12 months. But here they are in a different class, but picking up a victory.
Daytona, 20 seconds to the good. This team and this young man, what an amazing star I think we are seeing in the early part of a rocketing career as he feeds it down into the chicane and working his way now through the infield. Fabulous stuff. And again, that means we're going to see the rest of that lap and another one for the Corvettes. And Rast, yeah, he is just crawling right now. Katzberg has already picked up second.
So it's not over yet for the 44. He's still in the lead. He's slowed way down. It's 8 seconds at the line, but he's gone slow since.
They're trying to manage this. And I think the bad news is he's going to have to do another lap and a half.
That's a long way. That's a long haul, no question about it. Meanwhile, Durrani.
I think Tequila Patron ESM has found a star.
You think so? I think absolutely. And the interesting thing, we've been talking about the history here. Obviously, Scott Pruitt not going to be able to break that tie with Hurley Haywood as we now go back to these two Corvettes. But we might see the first win overall by a Honda here as the Corvettes come by down the front straight. That in itself would certainly be some history. And maybe, Brian, a changing of the guard just a little bit. This is the last year of the DP. Everybody, of course, some hoping they get this win one more time. But it's this type of car that will be the future, starting with the new DPI format.
Absolutely. As we move to 2017, there'll be a new car. It was the last chance, as you said, for a Daytona prototype to take the victory. Looks like that will not happen.
The plot is thickened even more in GTD because the Viper, driven by Damian Faulkner, is battling. Here's Checker.
Here's the Checker. Honda wins overall at Daytona for the first time. And Scott Sharp and his Tequila Patron ESM team, Ed Brown, Johannes van Overbeek, and Pippo Durrani. Folks, remember that name. You're going to be hearing a lot about him. The Corvettes heading into the kink right now as we watch Rast trying to milk it to bring it home here in front of Nick Katzberg.
No pressure from behind, bud.
But it is the Corvettes as well now into the West Horseshoe as they are working their way toward turn 6.
That's Katzberg's pulled away from Faulkner.
Yep. There is the number 93. That, of course, is the car that ended up winning here last year and went on to win the Tequila Patron North American Endurance Cup. They're in a good position as well. There is the 44 trying to make his way now out of that bus stop. And if he can hang on, it's possible. They might have done this here. He had a 6.6 second margin at the line. Boy, he is just absolutely easy. The 85 has won in Prototype Challenge, by the way. JDC Miller Motorsports, an incredible job. And in GT Daytona, Magnus brings it home in the Audi, winning here at the Rolex 24 of Daytona. And out of the banking, here we go. This is GT Le Mans at its finest. These two Corvettes side by side at the line. It is Gavin and Corvette number 4 winning at Daytona by what, 3-4 feet over the team car of Antonio Garcia. 34 1/1000ths of a second as Corvette goes 1-2 here at Daytona. Look at that margin of victory. Phenomenal.
You may expect that in the Daytona 500,
Exactly.
but after 24 hours.
50-50, says Alex Capadia. A minute to go on the clock. The white flag is being prepared now and about to be displayed to Ricky Taylor. So Ricky, 6, 5, 7 laps completed. He's coming out of Speedway Turn 4 now, and here is the white flag displayed to Wayne Taylor Racing and the brand new Cadillac. Over the line it goes, the DPI VR, and into the turn number 1 for the final time. We have 35 seconds on the clock. The lead margin has come down again. 1.5 seconds between Ricky Taylor and Philippe Albuquerque. Meanwhile, James Collado trying to find a way by the Porsche of Patrick Pilet. Can't do it there at the West Horseshoe, and Pilet almost deliberately running out a touch wider than he would do ordinarily, so that the Ferrari can't find a way up the inside at turn 6 either. What's the exit speed like for the 911 car? Pretty good. Up onto the banking. There are cars to negotiate here, and quickly the 911 sweeps back down to the double yellow line there with the clock now reading 0. We are on the final lap, that is confirmed, but the leaders are so close here. 1.5 seconds has become maybe a second as they head into Speedway Turn 1.
And in GTD a couple of laps ago, it looked like the Porsche of Michael Christensen had a pretty comfortable 2-second advantage. They're going now into Turn 5, and there's less than a car length between those two in a battle for GTD.
So final time right down the back straight. This is going to be a first win for Cadillac Power and a 7th for GM engined efforts under 4 different brands: Chevrolet, Pontiac, Oldsmobile and New Cadillac. Just the question is, which one's going to win it? Ricky Taylor surely has enough from here. It is going to be so tight. Remember, this is a 24-hour race. They're coming out of Speedway Turn 4 now. It's going to be Wayne Taylor Racing to take a victory they came so close to just a couple of years ago. Over the line they go, with the checkered flag being displayed to Ricky Taylor, who wins the Rolex 24 by 0.671 of a second. And Wayne Taylor cannot believe it down there in Wayne Taylor Racing's pit garage. Meanwhile, side by side for James Collado, who's going to be on the outside line in GTLM. Please don't throw it off, boys. Patrick Pilet versus Collado for second position. This is all playing very tightly into the hands of Dirk Muller as Michael Christensen is about to cross the line in the number 28 car, the 28 Allegra Motorsport Porsche 911 GT3R and the 911. RSR provides Porsche with yet another extension to one of the longest podium scoring runs in world motorsport. Now over 55 runnings of this race. A tremendous effort from them. We're still waiting for the GTLM cars to head over the line, and Dirk Muller leading that class in the number 66 Ford GT. Remember, the Ford GT debuted here 12 months ago. They had so many problems, but the second place battle is yet to be decided. They're both going to be on the podium, I hope, but in what order? The Porsche versus the Ferrari, the 488. They're through the bus stop, still in the same order. Pilet ahead of James Collado. Meanwhile, the Ford GT's working its way out of Speedway Turn 4, and Dirk Muller for the 66 crew about to come over the line. The ESMs are going to finish side by side for a photo finish, but it is Ford that win here, and so close further back. James Collado desperately trying the inside line, the outside line, cannot find a way by the Patrick Pilet
Lamborghini.
So that's the principally black Lambo, number 48, as the white flag is displayed now for Philippe Albuquerque. And this will be 808 laps then completed very shortly by Philippe Albuquerque of Portugal, sharing with countryman João Barbosa and Brazilian Christian Fittipaldi. Two of those guys having won this race before. Philippe Albuquerque, as I say, with a class win already under his belt, with Stuart Middleton, by virtue of winning effectively a points competition through the course of the British motorsport season. He took British GT4 honours with Will Tregurtha in British GT. Stuart Middleton getting this drive in the Whelen Engineering Cadillac. I really don't think he came here expecting to finish on the podium, and indeed on the lead lap of this record-breaking race. It's dreams come true for the young man from Ashington in the northeast of England. Colin Brown flying the flag for the global LMP2 squad, with their Orica from Core Autosport in third position, ahead of the Ligier of United Autosports, and then this long line of further Oricas, the 78, the 85, the 99 and the 38 completing the top 8. Ford GT absolutely metronomic in their preparation. Remember, Chip Ganassi is the Grand Marshal this year at Daytona, as we look to NASCAR Turn 4 and await Philippe Albuquerque to cross the line after 24 hours and 808 laps. It's victory then to Action Express Racing and to Philippe Albuquerque. João Barbosa and Christian Fittipaldi will wait for the Fords to cross the line in a moment or two as well. They're about 10 seconds apart between 67 and 66, but Diana Binks, I'm sure, is very close to Action Express Racing and ready to get some reaction for us. GTD still undecided for third position. It's tight between Caldarelli and Jerome Blakemole. Here's Diana.
Joel, many congratulations. What does this mean to you in 2018? Fantastic.
What a start. That was like the longest hours in my life. We had quite some issues with the car, but man, this team is just amazing. It was just phenomenal. We were managing the pace, managing the car. It was definitely not easy, but man, what a win. It was a long time coming. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of these guys. Action Express, the whole Mustang sampling Cadillac program has been so phenomenal. It's, I have no words. I'm super happy.
So you're absolutely delighted and speechless. Congratulations to you and the team.
And Christian Fittipaldi, of course, very much a role as a driver, but also an organisation role this year as well, continuing that on as he steadily makes a step away from driving. We didn't get the change for third position in the end. It was tight at the line between Andrea Caldarelli and the 48 Lamborghini and the 33-year-old Blake-Emola Mercedes that required that late splash. We still haven't seen Mirko Bortolotti across the line, though, to confirm a win for the number 11 GRT Grasser crew, and they're going to be side by side, the two Austrian Lamborghini Huracans. That's a first win ever for Lamborghini as a mark in a 24-hour race to add to.
Onto the circuit, Renger van der Zande along with Jordan Taylor, and the checkered flag is waved with 11 minutes to go. It's all over, not bar the shouting, it's all over and the shouting here at the 57th running of the Rolex 24 at Daytona. Let's get down to Shea Adam with the Wayne Taylor Racing Team.
You can hear all the excitement in the background as they're finally celebrating, and Max Angelelli is trying to get all the boys off of the pit box into the rain to be here with the rest of us, and it's because of this weather that they got the win.